Are you looking for more ways to lower your salt intake for better health, but don't know how? You've just started moving to plant based eating and everything seems new. There are new foods, products, and ingredients. What do you need to watch out for when it comes to salt and sodium? Let me help. In this episode, I want to give you 3 top tips to help you move into a healthier plant-powered lifestyle and lower your salt and sodium intake for better long-term health. Ready? Let's dive in. Welcome to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Anna Zinn, plant-based registered dietitian and transition coach. Hi, friend. Do you want to regain your health with plant-based eating but feel overwhelmed and lost about how to do it? Do you feel it'll be hard to change your meat-heavy diet and impossible with working, running the home, or chasing after the grandkids? If so, you're in the right place. Here you'll find simple strategies, clear nutrition guidance, and practical tips to help you thrive plant-powered with more energy. So if you're ready to ditch the guesswork and transform your health the stress-free way, cozy up now with a hot cup of tea or listen while you walk, and let me show you how doable plant-based eating can be. Let's do this. Most of us at some point have heard about sodium and the need to watch how much salt we're having. That's because salt is the biggest source of sodium in our diets. Sodium is a mineral that our body needs in small amounts to function well, and it plays important roles in fluid balance as well as nerve and muscle function. But the problem is that most Americans consume too much salt. According to the United States Food and Drug Administration, Americans eat on average about 3,400 milligrams of sodium a day through foods and beverages. The dietary guidelines for Americans, however, recommend that adults keep sodium intake to less than 2,300 milligrams a day, or the amount in about 1 teaspoon of table salt. The American Heart Association takes this a step further and recommends not just keeping sodium intake to below 2,300 milligrams, but even moving towards an ideal limit of no more than 1,500 milligrams per day for most adults. That's because diets that are high in sodium are linked to an increased risk of developing high blood pressure, which then increases your risk of having further problems like strokes, heart attacks, and kidney disease. If you're already having high blood pressure or have borderline levels, you may already be watching your daily salt intake to some degree. And that's good. But in this episode, I want to give you 3 top tips to help you lower your salt intake even more as you move into plant-based eating. Let's look at each of these in turn now. Here's the first. Choose whole plant-based foods. Did you know? Most of the added salt in our diet actually comes from processed manufactured foods. So even if you're not regularly using the salt shaker on your table to season your meals, it's likely that you're still getting a large amount of salt through the processed foods that you eat. This is because salt is often used as a preservative and to season foods during the manufacturing process to make them more palatable and desirable. Just think of the ready-to-eat potato chips, pretzels, and popcorn you buy in packets at the store. I've yet to see one of these products being sold that does not come salted. Have you? Here are a few other examples I've seen. Heard of Beyond Meat? Well, one link in a package of 4 Beyond Sausage links already has a sodium content of 460 milligrams, which is 1/5 of the daily recommended intake limit. One slice of a Follow Your Heart brand cheddar dairy-free cheese contains 210 milligrams of sodium. And a Veggie Marsala frozen meal product from the Strong Roots brand, which comes as a single serving, already contains 550 milligrams of sodium, which is in itself almost a quarter of the daily recommended intake limit. There are many other examples I can give you. Can you see how quickly the sodium amounts would add up over the course of a day if you included commercial vegan processed foods like these? So be mindful. Though there are differences between products and brands, many highly processed vegan products like cookies, crackers, plant-based cheeses, frozen meals, and meat alternatives can pack quite a high sodium content per serving. These processed food products need to be limited if you want to lower your overall daily sodium intake. Instead, choose to fill your shopping cart with as much whole plant-based foods like fruits, vegetables, dried beans, and whole grains as possible. These may be in the fresh, dried, or even frozen form and can be sold whole or chopped, but as is, without any salt added. These minimally processed or unprocessed whole plant-based foods are all naturally very low in sodium and can be enjoyed liberally. They will also give you the most nutrients to nourish your body in the best way. Now here's a second tip. Pick the unseasoned version. I know that it can be tempting to want to choose plant-based or vegan options at the store that come already seasoned and flavored for you. After all, it'll taste much better and will save you the hassle of having to flavor and marinate the foods yourself, right? That may be the case, but know this. While you may save a little time and energy for not having to season the food yourself, you'll lose in other areas. I found that the flavor version compared to the plain version is often much higher in sodium because manufacturers usually add salt to enhance taste. For instance, you can choose to eat a cup of cooked brown rice for less than 2 milligrams of sodium or a cup of cooked quinoa for only 13 milligrams of sodium. On the other hand, you can eat 1 cup from a Seeds of Change brand quinoa and brown rice with garlic microwavable pouch. But this will give you 360 milligrams of sodium, which is more than 27 times the sodium content of a cup of cooked quinoa. In fact, if you ate the whole pouch, which is about 1.5 cups worth, you would be taking in 580 milligrams of sodium. That's a big difference in sodium levels. So where possible, always choose the plain, unseasoned version if you can, especially when it comes to whole grains. Now here's a third tip. Make your own dressings and sauces. Again, we often love to season our foods and enjoy them with a dressing, sauce, or marinade. That's absolutely fine, but just know that the commercially produced versions can be quite sodium heavy. Just 1 tablespoon of a Kraft zesty Italian dressing, for example, already gives 146 milligrams of sodium, while 2 tablespoons of a Walden Farms honey Dijon dressing gives 250 milligrams of sodium. Depending on the size of your salad and how much dressing you're using, that sodium amount coming from the salad dressing can add up quite quickly. Yet many people don't realize this, that they're adding in so much unnecessary sodium through commercial dressings and sauces onto their salads, over a grain bowl, or over cooked vegetables. The best thing to do? Make your own dressings and sauces at home. This can actually be easy to do. You can even make a bigger batch at one time to be stored in the refrigerator and then use some for a few meals over the course of the week. But the biggest benefit is that you can control the amount of salt to be used in the recipe, or even omit salt altogether. So today we looked at 3 top tips for lowering your overall daily sodium intake while on a plant-based or vegan diet. These are to 1. Choose whole plant-based foods, 2. Pick the unseasoned version, and 3. Make your own dressings and sauces. Taken together, these can all add up to make a big difference in your salt intake over the course of the day. Now here's an action step you can take. Pick one of these top tips given today for lowering sodium intake and practice using it this coming week or on your next grocery trip. Remember, friend, I'm here to help you reach the best health on a plant-based diet. So if you want more support on your health and plant-based diet journey, reach out to me at healthnow@plantnourish.com or see the contact links in the show notes. Let's connect so we can look at your specific situation together. With the right guidance and support, you can thrive on a plant-powered lifestyle and reach the best health possible. And I want to help you reach that. Thank you so much for listening. If this podcast has inspired, encouraged, or helped you in some way to transform your health, I would love to hear about it. Please take 30 seconds to rate and leave a written review on Apple Podcasts to let me know. It will encourage me so much to hear how this podcast has positively impacted and made a difference in your journey towards wellness. And share about this podcast with a friend or loved one so we can all thrive in the best health. Remember, plant-based eating can be easy and doable. See you in the next episode, my friend.